1.
Good evening. Live from New York, the CC Radio Network is proud to bring you tonight's show, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc, where we talk about religion like you've never heard before. There's no evangelists here, just talk about religion with a twist. So let's get started and have some fun. Welcome our hosts for tonight, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc.
There is no heaven, there is no hell, there is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Of course we know where we are. We're right here live in New York. And you're listening to the Rebellious Rev and
the Doc.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show.
You think we should tell them why we're a little late?
I don't know. Is it,
Well, you see, it's actually it's the end of the second day of Rosh Hashanah, and the Rev had to blow his shofar, so we had to wait, and it kind of set things back a little.
see,
Plus, it's also the beginning of Shabbos.
Yeah, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I am interfaith. So, I do everything. All religions, I cover them all. Whatever somebody wants, I take care of them.
He does a mean Muslim wedding, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, today's topic is a very appropriate interfaith marriage.
Well, it's something that both of us hits both of us on a very personal level.
Yeah, we both have had experiences. I come from an interfaith marriage. My mother was Jewish, my father was Catholic.
And Felix proposed to me, so that makes it about as interfaith as it possibly could be. But
Exactly.
I turned him down. He wasn't my type. But
So I guess I was a mutt. I was half and half. I was a mutt.
Oh,
And then I married a Jewish woman. And I have two kids who both were raised Jewish. But my daughter married a Catholic young man. Another interfaith marriage. My son, I believe, is not well. I know he's not married, but the last two girls he had for seeing them for almost 10 years were not Jewish. And Mark, I think you've had some experiences with interfaith, haven't you?
yes, my daughter married a young man who is not Jewish, and right now they live in Troy, Ohio. But
Well, a lot of
yes.
people who are not Jewish live.
Yes, in fact, where she lives on every street corner, there's a big sign that says "Honk if you love Jesus."
Well, even if you're Jewish, you can love Jesus. Aren't there groups called Jews for Jesus?
Yes, there are. There is.
There's
Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus as the Messiah.
there's plenty of different religions, and there are people marrying each other in all these religions, marrying into different religions. Most religions, on the whole, actually don't approve of interfaith marriages.
Well, you have to understand that for people of the Jewish faith, we are so small in number as far as the world is concerned that interfaith marriage is another way of losing identity, because in many cases children of interfaith marriages some, depending upon how strong one of the parents is, let's say the Jewish parent, you know, they lose their Jewish identity, and in turn they will turn around and marry someone who is not Jewish, and subsequently the grandchildren are not brought up Jewish. Listen, we see it in the past as well. Barry Goldwater, while not Jewish, had Jewish ancestors, but through intermarriage, he basically lost his Jewish identity. And there are many people, politicians, famous people, who went that same route. I guess one could ask, you know, make the statement that now you understand why leaders of certain religions frown upon interfaith marriages, because it diminishes the numbers of whether it's Muslim, Catholic, or Jewish.
Well, to me, I don't really know of any religions, and I stand corrected if anybody does, that encourages interfaith marriage. They all oppose to it.
Very true.
I'm not saying they're right. I don't think they are right. I don't really see.
Well, it's certainly up to the two people who are getting married. I mean, they love each other, you know. And yet, in some cases, religion, you know, prevents some people from marrying, depending upon how the two people approach it. You know, I mean, dear friends of ours, he's Italian, she's Jewish, and his father, who, I mean, he and his family lived in Little Italy. Okay, can't get much more Italian than that, and religion was presenting sort of a problem, and his father said to him, and he came right off the boat, and he said, do you love her? And our friend said yes. So his father, who was wise beyond his years, said, so give her what she wants. She wanted to have the children brought up Jewish, get a Jewish education. And he was, while Catholic, was not that religious or that practicing. I myself dated an Italian girl who said
Right.
basically that, you know, religion was not important to her.
She was
But
Italian.
she was Italian. But, you know, I worked with a gentleman who was Jewish, and he married a girl who was Italian. And it was important for her that whatever children they have be brought up Catholic. And they went the whole route, pre-Cana. They met with the priest and everything, you know, children brought up Jewish, Catholic, signed the paper. And I also know of a couple who, where the husband was Jewish and the mother was Greek Orthodox, and he promised that whatever children they have will be brought up in the Eastern Church, Greek Orthodox.
You know, it's never interfaith marriages are really no problem at all if there are no kids. It's like you said, when the kids come into play, then, you know, we may hit some, what would you call it?
Well, my daughter, you know, she and her husband don't plan to have children, but I know he's not all that religious. If they would have decided to have children, I don't think it would have been a problem if the children were brought up Jewish, but sometimes it makes a difference.
I said that's where the problem
Yeah.
is. Now, in my family, my daughter is raising her son Catholic, even though she's practicing Judaism, and the reason is her husband felt stronger about it than she did, so she went with it. Now, my wife's parents had 4 kids, and all of them married out of their religion. Except, and I half married. Or 3 and a half of them anyway. I'm half and half, so I'm not sure how you can take me as being Jewish or Catholic. So it doesn't bother me either way. But it happens, and my feelings are that in the long run, I think that's going to solve a lot of the problems of all the hate crimes and everything else, because as people blend, there is less chance of having hate crimes, because everybody's getting closer together and understanding their religions of each other a little better, and realizing that
Well, but don't forget that
we're all pretty close to each other.
in Germany during World War II and prior to World War II, according to Hitler, if you had even one drop of Jewish blood in you, you were considered Jewish, and you were shipped off to the death camps.
Oh, he was crazy.
Well, but by the same token, you have children who are interracial, and the child may appear to be white, but according to the census, the child is black.
Well, it's not the child. Is a lot more people take him as being black.
No, I didn't say the child. I said, according to the census, they consider the child to be black.
So Obama comes from an interracial marriage, and he's considered black. He considers himself black. Forget about what other people think.
Well,
If
yet
someone
in high school, he dated white women. No difference.
well, whatever, doesn't make a difference to us, that's for sure. But anyway, we didn't even tell you everybody our phone number today.
I was just gonna say,
646-595-3275. Our chat room is open. We're ready to chat or talk if anybody's had any experiences with interfaith, or would like to express their opinions on it. If you approve of it, if you don't approve of it. We listen to everybody. We're very open-minded about the subject. So please call in. All right, let's see. I was going through my different prayers that we have, and I was thinking of all the stuff that's going on between the Muslims, Jews, and the Catholics. And I don't know, for some reason, those 3 religions are always fighting each other more than any other religion. Muslims fighting Muslims, Muslims fighting Jews, Jews fighting Muslims. Whatever, it's ugly. And we found we found a really good prayer that the doc would like to read to you, since he is there's a word for it, and I forgot the name of it. A person who reads, prayers. You know what they call them? A prayer warrior. Like a warrior.
I never heard that, but
yeah,
okay.
I read about it today, and they were explaining about it. Certain people read prayers, and they are, prayer warriors.